Hello, my name is Cloretta, and I'm doing an informative speech on how to make a peach cobbler. What comes to mind when you think of desserts? Cakes, pies, cobblers, cookies, ice cream? Well, my family's favorite dessert is peach cobbler. Of course, my peach cobbler, not just everybody's peach cobbler, but they enjoy the way I make my peach cobbler. One of the things that you have to make sure is that you have the proper ingredients to make the peach cobbler. You're going to need, of course, peaches, and they can be fresh or frozen or out of the can. Well, I have chosen the Del Monte sliced peaches, which is a shortcut. Then you are going to need sugar. Then you will need nutmeg, cinnamon. You're going to need butter. You're going to need vanilla, which is a secret ingredient of mine. Some people may or may not use vanilla when they make their peach cobbler. Well, once you get all of those ingredients together, then you place them in the pot and you allow it to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, then you let it stay there. You turn the fire down to a low semi boil until your mixture starts to thicken. Now don't let it get too thick because then it will stick to the pot. But you just let it thicken just a little bit. And I am a cook who don't use measurements too much. But if you need measurement, then you can use, again, I say a 6 pound, 10 ounce can of Del Monte peaches, depending on what size you want to make. Well, for this particular cobbler, I am making a large peach cobbler. Once you get all of your ingredients, the second step, as I said, is to put them in a pot. Then after you get all your ingredients in the pot and it starts to boil, then you start working on your crust if you're going to make a crust from scratch. Well, I try to give my family the best of the best. So I'm going to make the crust from scratch. And what you're going to need is 2.5 cups of flour. You will need a cup of butter cut into cubes. You're going to need a teaspoon of salt. You're going to need a teaspoon of sugar and 6 to 8 tablespoons of water. And you're going to need, of course, a bowl to put all of that in. And you will also need a blender. So you're going to combine your flour and your sugar and butter in a bowl, and you're going to mix it all together. And then you're going to take 1 tablespoon of water until the mixture starts to thick. Once it starts to stick together, then you're going to form it into a ball. When you form the mixture into a ball, then you take it and you put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour. Once it sets together, then you take the ball and you knead it and you knead it and you keep kneading it until the ball is the consistency that you want it to be. Then you take that ball and you place it on a floured surface and you take a rolling pin and you roll it out. Once you roll it out and you test it to make sure that it's sticking together, because if it's not sticking together the way that you want it to, then you take some more water and add to it, and then you do it again. And so when you put it on your surface, then you flour the surface and you roll it out with the rolling pin. Then you take a knife and you cut strips. In a peach cobbler, you want to put strips of crust down on the bottom. You make like a window pane at the bottom, and then you take your mixture, your filling, and you pour it on in the inside of it, and then you put more crust on the top of it. Then once you finish putting the crust on the top, then you take some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and sprinkle a little sugar. You make a mixture of that and you sprinkle it on the top, and then you also take some strips of butter and you place those on the top of that, and you put it in the oven on 350 degrees for 1 hour. And then you have, voila, a delicious peach cobbler. I hope that you all enjoy this recipe and will have fun making it at home. Thank you.